Good evening, everyone. I am State Senator Roxanne Persaud, representing the 19th Senate District. And this evening, in our continuing conversations, we have a group of people who will join us as we celebrate, as we mark March as National Developmental Disability Awareness Month. Tonight, I'm proud to host this community conversation about navigating and advocating for services from New York State Office of People with Developmental Disabilities, otherwise known as OPWDD. And OPWDD oversees highly specialized and individualized services provided to New Yorkers with intellectual and developmental disabilities from early childhood to late adulthood. Also joining us this evening will be Matthew Sturiale, President and CEO of Birch Family Services. So before I bring my panelists on this evening, I'd like to say why we're hosting this. When we talk about disability awareness, there's a printout that I have. It reminds us about disability awareness. And I tend to say to people, someone is not disabled, they're just differently abled. So just do not see them as disabled. And so when we're talking about disability awareness, it says you have questions. So here are some answers. Disability awareness. We have conditions, not diseases. We may talk differently, but want to be taught to. We may walk differently, but want to walk with you. We may think or play differently, but want to play and be included. And that's extremely important. We want the differently able to always be included. Include us, it says. We're all human. We need love. We need to learn, and we need to laugh. Human kindness goes a long way. Remember, inclusion is important. Why did I become involved in the disability community? Growing up, a friend of ours was differently abled, and he was involved in everything that we did. Everything, no matter what we did. And at times he ruled us. He told us what to do. And so I have always grown up with being inclusive of differently abled individuals. And then my mom worked in the industry with differently abled folks who would always come to our homes. Whether it's Christmas, it's a Thanksgiving, there was always someone visiting us or groups of people visiting us. We are going to go to family events in New Jersey, and we've had individuals come with us to New Jersey or taken the PATH train to come and visit us in New Jersey and celebrate with our family. To this day, they are still part of our family. And so we remember it's all about being inclusive and understanding that a disability does not mean someone is unable to be included in anything that we're doing, and hence the inclusion that we encourage. And so I am going to give a few house rules. For those joining us either on this webinar or on Facebook Live, on Facebook Live, you may put your questions in the chat feature. You just put your questions and we'll try to get to as many questions as possible. While you're on Zoom with us, please use the question and answer feature and put your questions there, and they will be answered, as many questions as possible. Please refrain from including any personally identifying information. If you have personal questions that you would like to ask us, we just put it there, something there, and we will contact you so that we can connect you with the individuals that you must speak with so that your questions can be asked online. We do not answer any personal questions online, either on Zoom or on Facebook. We will not do that. So please remember, this is a space where we're all here to be respectful. We're all here to have the conversation and to hear about what the commissioner and the president and CEO of Birch Family Services has to speak with us about. With that being said, I will now turn it over to Commissioner Willow Baer of OPWDD so she can introduce herself and give us an opening comments. Thank you, Commissioner, for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me and for celebrating Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. It's our favorite month of the year, celebrating the diversity that people with disabilities bring, right, to our communities and our families and our workplaces. But it's always extra special when someone else acknowledges the month. So thanks for that opening. I love taking just about any opportunity to speak with constituents about the work that we do at OPWDD to support New Yorkers. So I'm happy to be here. I'm also joined by a couple members of my team tonight. I have Deputy Commissioner Abiba Kindo on, along with Associate Commissioner Anne-Marie Peterson. These are the folks who oversee the work of our regional offices and are really the ones that are the connection between our agency and our provider community, our families, people who utilize services. So they keep the trains running, so to speak. We couldn't do anything without this team. They're the greatest group in state government. So they're here to help me answer questions or just to listen and learn
Thank you very
from you
much,
all.
Commissioner. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. And now we'll ask Matt Sturiale from Birch. And just for full disclosure, Matt knows my mom also because they work together. So.
Matt worked with your mom, yes. Many years ago, we worked together.
Many years ago, yes.
And still staying in touch, so thank you. Senator, first of all, to echo what Commissioner Baer said, thank you for hosting this conversation. A conversation that focuses on what we as a community, as a fully inclusive community of government, elected officials, government servants, and not-for-profit providers look to do in making sure that people with developmental disabilities are able to lead fully inclusive lives. And doing it as we're nearing the end of Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month and Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month coming right behind, it's a great time to be raising awareness of all that is possible. And I think your opening comment and what you have as a background speaks exactly to that. So thank you for joining. Birch Family Services, not only have I worked with the senator's mother, but also we are partners in the Brooklyn community where she provides services. Birch Family Services offers an array of services across the life cycle, and I'm joined tonight with two of the people that I depend on a day-to-day basis. I have Marjorie Antoine, who's our Senior Vice President for Education Services, joining us and deals with the Early Childhood and Children's Services, and Lisa Starantino, my Senior Vice President for our Community Supports. And so I hope we'll have an interesting dialogue about how we're doing, what's needed, and how we can continue to partner so that people with developmental disabilities can lead full lives.
Well, thank you. Thank you both for being here, and thank you for your teams for being here as support. I would like to start off our conversation by asking Commissioner Baer to actually explain in detail the way you would explain to a family your role and your agency's role to the family of a child or an adult newly seeking OPWDD services. How would you explain that to a family?
So the New York State Office for People with Developmental Disabilities coordinates services for all New Yorkers with developmental disabilities. That includes things like cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, autism, intellectual disabilities. Our mission is to make sure that any New Yorker with a developmental disability who's eligible for services has the tools and the support to live their most self-directed, inclusive, engaging life possible. That can be anything from helping someone find a job or support someone to live in their own apartment in the community, right, all the way up through a 24-hour full care environment, depending on that person's needs, their time of life, and the type of disability. So we oversee a broad spectrum of supports and services to meet those individual needs. As a state agency, we provide a number of those services directly as a state-operated healthcare system. But we also oversee a network of close to 500 not-for-profit agencies that provide that continuum of services in every corner of the state. So that's sort of the overview of who we are. We serve about 140,000 New Yorkers and families currently. We do have, and I can drop a link in the chat, we have a web page that is newly developed and committed to walking a new family member through sort of who we are, what we do, what the array of services are that exist, and how to become eligible for any of them. So I can drop that link. We've also created a number of materials we refer to as front door videos. So the idea of the front door is there's no wrong way to get to OPWDD. You just have to come to the front door. So we have on our website a number of videos available in 13 languages and American Sign Language that walk families through the different topics, how to become eligible, what the types of services are, how to create a life plan, right? And those are very helpful for someone that's new to the system just to become acclimated. We are a very complex system with a lot of acronyms and processes, right? So those are really meant to be introductory and easy to understand.
Well, thank you for that. And we appreciate everything that you do when we contact you on behalf of constituents. We appreciate your agency's, your indulgence in working with us. I'd like to ask Matt Sturiale, when a family is seeking services for their young child or young adult, or a person, and you come into contact with them, do you say to them, oh, you have to speak to OPWDD first, or do you navigate them and help them and then connect them with OPWDD? What is it like?
So it's yes to all of the above. And here's what I mean by that. When the commissioner was saying there's no right or wrong way to get to OPWDD, I think we all work in tandem to make sure the family has what they need. So, the interesting thing about Birch Family Services is that a good part of what we do is early childhood education. So we support 1,000 children in early childhood education where they're maybe coming through early intervention. They were getting early intervention services, or maybe they're in UPK and universal pre-K and they're discovering that there may be a delay in how do they access those services, for which we might offer a special education program such as a 4410 or an 853 in a school age program. So we do get a lot of calls that we help people navigate, because we do multidisciplinary evaluations at Birch to be able to determine whether or not a person has a delay, a child has a delay, and may be in need of supports, which requires the need for an individualized education plan. For somebody looking for services from OPWDD, we do a lot of education with our families around how to access the front door. I think when the commissioner was speaking to going to the website and access to the front door, between the written tools, the videos that are done in many, many languages, is very easy to walk through, but very much so what's available to any family who calls Birch or first goes through the front door. It's getting the person to go through the front door to see if they are eligible for the services, but they might work with an agency that may give them guidance of what they may need to do, and that might be us at Birch. Or there may be a care coordination organization, a CCO, that may also be able to help the family with those processes.
So for someone joining, just not knowing what is a CCO, can you explain what a CCO really is? They're coordinating the care. Can you expound on that? Yeah.
So I'll start, but please join in.
So the commissioner is smiling. She's like, oops.
So, well, I think what is a care coordination organization? So, it is a care manager. So pretty much, the service is set up for assisting individuals who can help look at the whole person. And somebody looking at the whole person, someone's not going to get everything that one may desire or need from one service delivery system. It's from a variety of different networks of supports and services that one may. So I think the care management was really established, and it used to be partly included within agencies years ago. But what happened is they're independent agencies that are there and available to families to work with on assessing the needs and desires of the individual, to get the necessary evaluations completed and linking to what the services are, to see that they qualify, and then help manage the care. So it's a matter of linking and coordinating with the appropriate service providers in terms of their services. It might be coordinating healthcare needs, might be coordinating education programs or community support services that might be funded through OPWDD or a local service provider, funded through Office of Children and Families or another private not-for-profit. But the care manager is the person that really works with the individual and the family on developing a life plan that looks at their abilities, their needs, their desires, and come up with an action plan to link them to services.
Yep, you got it, Matt. It's really that service access agency for the person. So if you have a child who grew up receiving early intervention services, for example, and had an IEP, right, it's that point of contact that develops that plan of care with you, gets to know you, what you want, what you need, and help connect you with those things.
Thank you. So, Matt spoke about their early childhood schools and all of that. And I'm gonna say it, I enjoy going to the school and disrupting the kids. disrupting the kids, having fun with them, and I'm like, bye. Because it's always fun, going to read to them, and it's so always they're always so welcoming when you go, especially the younger kids. They want to be part of everything you're doing, and I have fun doing that. I owe one of the schools a visit, so I'm going to be doing that hopefully in the fall, probably after budget is over. So we were talking about, the family has gotten into the system. They've gotten, Birch has helped them, OPWDD, they're part of the system there. But we have older adults who are part of the program, and they have the families who are, taking care of them. And, the family wants to ensure that going forward, anything happens, that there's a plan in place for them. The care succession plan. How do you assist families in doing that? Is there a particular organization they have to go to, or a particular person within OPWDD or in Birch or any of the other organizations? How do they navigate that and ensure that the right plan is there for their family?
Yeah, I mean, that really at first blush is the role, first and foremost, of that care manager. They're really supposed to be that proactive connection between that person, their family, and all of the service providers in OPWDD. I mean, when we talk about people aging, right, and true succession planning and having natural supports that predecease you, it's just become such an important question in the system. We have people with developmental disabilities living so much longer and more fulfilling lives than they ever did, right? Which is an incredible outcome. But we do have sort of the first generation of people with developmental disabilities who are becoming senior citizens and outliving parents, which is exactly what we want, right, for our children. But we have reached a point in the system, not just in New York State, but nationally, where this is becoming a much more important subject when we talk about aging adults. It's why we have a commissioner's task force on aging. It's why we're so focused on making sure that we are being very responsive to those aging caregivers who have people with disabilities aging in place. But to your question, that really is the care managers should be working with that person through all parts of their life as they age, and making sure that as needs change, as desires change, as goals change, the services that they're building in to support that person are changing along with them.
Thank you. Matt, I saw you. You wanted to say something?
No, yeah, I agree. I think the life plan and what the commissioner was speaking to around it being a breathing, nimble document. So it should always be going that what someone wants and needs in their lives, you need different things at different stages. And as the commissioner said, we just recently had someone pass away a couple of months ago who lived till 87 years of age. What a full life. And she lived with us for 25 years. And so years ago, we didn't know whether that life expectancy would be that long, but it's going more and more. And so the Aging Task Force is helping to really look at how can government and providers work together to plan for the aging needs. But in the same vein, how can we reconstruct the service system to be more nimble? It's sort of interesting. We just a year ago opened up a supported apartment up in the Bronx, integrated housing. And the first person to move in was somebody who was served in our 4410 school 25 years ago. We had not seen them in 15 or 18 years, but ironically, they were ready for this step in their life. So they were able to move into the apartment, which gave their family a peace of mind that there's some wraparound supports for them. There are people who lived in a group home who could move on to their own apartment, but sometimes when they move on to their own apartment, their needs may change that they need to come back. So I think as we look at the service system, I think we have to look at how we can be more nimble and be able to be as responsive in a timely manner. And I think residential planning is probably the biggest stressor for many of our families. And I think the more that we can be planful with it, it minimizes what I consider to be more crisis placement sort of stuff, which sometimes, we're all overwhelmed with, because there are people in those crisis situations as well. So you're trying to balance responding to a crisis when options are less available, as opposed to being able to be planful. And I think the care manager OPWDD and providers should always be looking at ways that we can do that in a planful way.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you in the middle of all of this now, before I move on to some other questions, what got both of you to where you are? What got you, involved in the disability space? What brought you to this? And why are you so passionate about it? I'll start with the commissioner.
Sure. And I loved hearing your personal story at the beginning, though. I hadn't heard that before. So that was a lovely way to start. So I am actually an attorney by trade, sort of a civil rights attorney, and have been involved in this service system either through being counsel for this agency or spent some time in the governor's office where I oversaw mental hygiene and human services more generally. But I actually am also the sister-in-law of someone with a developmental disability who lives part-time with us. And I think when you have that personal connection and you see the way that government looks in someone's actual life day to day, it's sort of impossible not to have that kind of passionate connection to it. So I come to this work sort of as an advocate first and foremost.
Okay. Matt?
So I started out in college as an educator, majoring in elementary education. But at the time when I had to do my internship, I was working more with child protective services for a variety of different things going on with what I was doing with my student placement, which had me shift gears to social work. And for my senior year of college, I was asked to do an internship, and they said, would you be interested in working in a group home for people with developmental disabilities? And of course, in 1979, that's not how it was said, but that's what was asked. And I said no. And the reason I said no was because when I was a junior in high school in 1973, now you'll be able to do the math, what happened was my high school was going to volunteer at the Willowbrook State School because the staff had gone out on strike. And this was before the consent decree and everything else. And I took 2 days of my spring break and I went out to volunteer. And my first thought was, I did that for 2 days and I'm thinking, I don't think I want to do this. But I went to a new group home at the time that was opening that was moving individuals out of Willowbrook and looking at the potential of what was possible and what could be done, tied into a lot the concept of this is a social justice movement. This is about equity and access for people with disability to live in their community, to thrive in their community, and to reach their potential. And that's why I chose to focus on social work, and I never left. So I started as a social work intern, became a direct support professional when I graduated my undergraduate school, and never left the field and spent my entire career here. And I guess I sound as passionate as I still do, but I think that we've come a long way, and each of us can talk about how much more there is to do.
Thank you. So good. That gets us into advocacy. So, Commissioner, does OPWDD offer direct support for self-advocacy capacity building?
I think that that's such an interesting question. So I talked about identifying first and foremost as an advocate, and we've done a lot since I became the commissioner in terms of creating internal advocacy channels here. We hired a team of people with developmental disabilities who report to me and do internal advocacy and help us really shape the mission and the messaging of the agency. So that was a sort of a big project that's been really transformative internally. But in terms of direct support to help someone become an advocate, I think of all of our services that way, right? A direct support professional working with someone day to day, whether it's helping them create skills to be employed or skills to live more independently or to develop relationships, right? All of that to me is helping someone become a stronger self-advocate. So I sort of think of all of our services that way.
Okay. So people may not know that here at the Capitol, the number of intellectual disabled and developmental disabled folks that we have working here, our entire messenger service. And if you come to my office, you will see there's one particular one. His name is Billy. Billy, I'll come and he's like, leaves me a drawing. There's always a new drawing. And it says, hi, Senator Persaud, here, this is for you. And so on my door, there's a folder there, a see-through folder. With every time he brings a new picture, I just add it to that so that you can see. And then I'll take a picture and post it and showcase what Billy is doing. You walk anyone when you come to Albany, you walk the hallways, you can see all of them, and you can chat with them. There's one, Greta. Greta can tell you anything you want. Sometimes you see, there's be like, okay, it's 10 days to spring. All of these things, they will make sure you remember and have conversations, and we celebrate them because we want to make sure that everyone sees them as an individual who can speak for himself. They're advocating for their needs, and let me tell you, they will speak up. They will speak up. So we have a lot of them here. So Matt, if you come to Albany with your team, just make sure you say hi to all of our staff who are running around, our messenger staff who are running around. And so you can see the great things that we're doing with them here. And so I'll ask you this question, Matt. Can you tell me some of the programs that Birch is doing to uplift self-advocates? A few years ago, there's a self-advocate, one that I've known for 30 whatever years. But she would come here and she would always talk about, she would not talk about their needs, but then she would always talk about the needs of the support staff that she has. Mm-hmm. Right. And so one year, she's always coming, and we finally got the governor, the past governor, to acknowledge her, mm-hmm. to make sure, just to say thank you for what you're doing. And, they presented her with this award that he did and all of that. But it's amazing what self-advocates do. And so what is it at Birch that you're doing to uplift them?
Well, I think there's a couple of things that we try to do. And because, in our school age program, there's a lot of work around self-advocacy. In the school program itself, from having a student council to having elections to becoming more aware of one's ability to vote, for those that have those capabilities. It's teaching people in the embodiment of your program. Our focus is on empowering individuals. So how do you get people to make those decisions of what they want and how do they get there? So we do a lot of work on teaching people how to raise their own voice around what they want. And for some, it may be simple about choosing activities that they'd like to participate in, whether it be at school or at home. But for some, it is going up to the rally in the Capitol. There was a rally in the Valley last week. It may be also, and I think this is an important message that we use at Birch. We have a lot of individuals who we hire as well as employees. We have people who are working as teacher aides. We have a person who's working in our maintenance department, a person who's working in our clerical department. So I think it's all about empowering people in different aspects of their lives. We have a social skills group that does more work on learning social skills, but they're also learning to make decisions about what they would like to be doing. Some people want to have relationships, and so some of the education related to having relationships. We've had the self-advocacy group come to Birch to educate individuals about how to raise their own voices, with staff about what they want and things like that. So we try to weave it in to those kinds of things in each of our services and programs.
Well, thank you for that. Commissioner Baer, last year you worked with us when we hosted a group of young girls who came from Brooklyn, and they were just fascinated by what you had to say to them, so that they want to come and we're going to invite you again when another group is coming. What is it like when you speak with people about what you do? When it's such an interesting position you're in, that when you say, I am the voice of the disability community on the government level. What is it like when you're speaking about that?
I have to say that it has been the most surprising, beautiful part of this job is getting sort of having the honor of sitting in that role. And when I go out to meet with self-advocates and families, the immense gratitude, the appreciation. Sometimes I'm treated almost like a celebrity, right? And that is so wild to me because my job is the easiest, right? It's it's the direct support professionals, it's everyone in the agencies that are holding the system together that are doing the real work. But it's such an honor to be able to sit in that role. And I learn something every single day on this job. Every time I visit a program or meet with a family, I learn something new. Everyone's story is completely different, and it really fuels me to want to show up every day and to keep fighting. So it's been really special.
Thank you. Matt, what is it like when you were speaking to people about what you do?
I'm passionate about what I do, and I think you could probably sense that sometimes when I'm speaking. But I think when you're in a leadership role, I think our role is to most important thing is to be humble, to be able to listen, because when you're in a leadership role of any type, you're willing to work towards what may be the best possible outcomes for individuals or families or staff in terms of what they're doing. And so it's very important never to think that you know what to do, but rather be willing to, you may have some ideas of what to do, but you want to hear from them what's important to them. Because sometimes you'll get it right. If you don't get it right, you need to be able to acknowledge it, and you also need to be willing to learn. So what I enjoy doing is I enjoy going out and meeting with staff, meeting with families, and hearing from them what we're doing well, but what we could be doing better, so that we can figure out how to do that. And no one person can do it. We rely on a lot of people. It takes a community within each of our organizations, but also across our organizations to make it happen. And so I think that that's the most important thing, to be able to listen and be able to react and act in ways that people feel as though you're trying to respond to what's important.
Thank you for that. As you spoke about staff, Commissioner Baer, we know that we have a staffing shortage. We're always, we get the links from your office, and we publicize it, so reminding people of the great work of the folks who are part of this community, and the reason why people should work in this industry. Can you tell us about the staffing challenges that you face across the industry?
Sure. I mean, I think Matt can talk sort of more personally about the staffing challenge on a day-to-day basis, but from my perspective,
yes.
yeah. Since the pandemic, we have really invested a lot of resources, time, energy, money on staffing, right? It is the number one part of our strategic plan. You can't have a single meeting with a single person without talking about staffing. We have been so lucky to be able to make what will be the fifth cost of living adjustment in this year's budget, and that hadn't happened for a lot of time before the current administration. That has gone a long way. We've made investments in the rates for providers so that they can make those staffing challenges, right? Address staffing challenges, not just by enhancing pay, but certainly by enhancing pay. We have done a lot of work with the SUNY and CUNY programs to offer credentials and free tuition reimbursement, really to professionalize the career, all kinds of marketing campaigns, right? Like really attacking it from every angle. We saw in a recent report out of the University of Minnesota that our initiatives, all the things I just listed, have really worked. We've heard from providers that the staffing is better now in most places than it was even before the pandemic. I think what we're seeing is people living longer in the system, more and more youth coming into the system and just needing so much more staff than we used to need, right? So I think staffing challenge will always be there. And so now I think we also need to focus on how do we create more innovative models? How do we use technology, right? How do we get to a place where we're not as reliant on staffing for everybody? Obviously, there's always going to be people that need that heavy staffing model based on their needs. But we are full throttle supporting the provider community in terms of addressing staffing. And I assume that Matt would agree with that.
Yep,
Yes, I
because
do.
Matt, someone is asking that question also, Matt. They say, Matt, as a provider, what can we do to help manage this crisis and still offer impactful supports and services?
Say that question again, Senator. I'm sorry. What?
Okay, so the person said, Matt, as a provider, what can we do to help manage this crisis and still offer impactful supports and services?
Okay, so I think that first of all, what I was just going to say was I do agree with the commissioner that we've made strides, but we're nowhere near where we need to be. And I think there's a couple of things with that between people living longer, more people coming into the system. Some people with more complex needs or some of the challenges of people aging need more intensive supports. I see that in the OPWDD system. I also see it, and you've heard us talk about it when we talk about our education services in terms of not having qualified teachers or therapists. And so it is a staffing challenge. I will say, as somebody who runs special education programs as well as OPWDD programs, our governor and subsequently Commissioner Baer and the Commissioner of State Education, the investment in resources have really helped. The targeted inflationary increases or cost of living adjustments, the investment in the rate basing has really helped increase. So, for example, I think over the last 5 years, in the not-for-profit community, the wages of our frontline staff have gone up about 25 or 26%. It's still not enough because
Not enough.
people are still working 2 and 3 jobs. We get that, but we've made progress. So I think we don't want to lose that momentum. And we've seen the same investment on the special education side in terms of how they've been doing some tuition growth factors. I think we need to make these professions, and I think that the DSP website, in terms of what OPWDD having people go to one particular website where providers can share employment opportunities has been one.
Mhm.
I think the professional development is critical. We recently just got participated in the eBadge Academy initiative, and so we're participating there where, as the commissioner was speaking to, people can earn credentials so that maybe hopefully they'll continue on to college and get maybe an associate's degree and things like that. I think a lot of that work begins to professionalize. I think from a legislative perspective on the federal and state level, we have to get the right job classification for this work because you understand it, but it takes years of educating people of what a direct support professional does.
Professional.
So the more we can get that job classification on the federal level and on the state level, so that there could be real studies on the job requirements and also what's reasonable compensation, I think that would be helpful. And I think that we find that most of the workforce like and love what they do in terms of working with the individuals or the families. It's the compensation or it's the affordability of New York. So investing in things like, some of the childcare initiatives that are being spoken about, some of the housing initiatives, where perhaps in the care force initiatives that we've been talking about, so that our workforce might be given consideration of a lottery for housing that's more affordable and so on and so forth. I think investing in those kinds of opportunities become critical. And I think the more we work with high schools and community colleges about understanding the work, creating internships and making that happen becomes important.
Well, thank you for that. We have across human services, when we try to say, who's a human service worker? And so we really have to work on defining the human service worker, the workforce, and so that people understand who they are. Because you ask 3 people, you'll get 10 different answers as to who is classified as a human service worker. And hence, when they are left out of things such as the TII and all of that, because there is no definition of the human service worker. And DSPs play an important part in that job force. And so we want to make sure all human service workers are accounted for and treated as frontline workers the way they should be treated. So Commissioner Baer, there's a question that's asked, and it has to do with residential placement. And this is just want you to give a general answer to that. And it concerns the wait lists, and we hear of the wait times for essential services like residential placements. What advice can the OPWDD offer to individuals in the families who are facing difficulties with residential placements?
Yeah, I know we've talked about this before and it comes up all the time. I talked about that continuum of support that we offer, and residential and housing support is certainly one of the big ones, right, that people want access to. And even in housing supports, we have a continuum. We have all different types of models that we offer to people based on need. But I know that sometimes it can take some time, right, for someone to identify that they would like a residential service, for us to make sure that they qualify and need that level of support because it is a service. And then finding one that meets not just their needs, but their geographical preferences, where there's staffing available, where there's an opening, where the roommates that already live there are someone you would want to live with, right? Those are all very individualized matching processes that take time. We have hundreds of people a year that request to move into one of those certified opportunities or group homes. We move hundreds of people a year into those opportunities. But certainly there are people that find that they are waiting a significant period of time to be matched the right way and at the right time. We try to prioritize people that have a real emergency need and give them sort of the first opportunity to move. But it doesn't always work out that way. So I mean, I think this is something we historically do pretty well. We have more certified residential opportunities in New York State than in any other state, right? It's become very typical in New York State for people with disabilities to move into one of these opportunities. But when you're waiting, you know, it doesn't help for me to say we're trying to fix it, right? We have undertaken significant initiatives to make this process easier. I think you and I have talked about those. I've talked about them during budget hearings. To try to automate the process a lot more. We still work on very sort of outdated paper matching processes, right, where we're emailing packets around. And so what we've spent a lot of time and money and energy on is building a more automated system where the profiles of every individual can be online, where the profiles of every opportunity are online, where we can use technology to match those and make that much faster. Something that's been incredibly frustrating for me in this role is learning how slow it takes to modernize state systems that are as outdated as ours, right? So that has been a real learning curve, a real process. We've spent a lot of energy building the system. That the team that's online with me, hours and hours and days and months of their life, right, working on this. I know though that we can't wait until that's done. So there's other things, of course, that we're doing in the meantime in terms of creating models for emergency placements, having our state operated programs act as sort of a safety net provider is how we call it. That's how we refer to it, right? When someone is so complex in their needs or healthcare needs that they can't find someone like a Birch to move to, we try to step up as state operations to make an opportunity available. And then all the work that we're doing just to help staffing. What we find a lot of the time in terms of having trouble finding an opportunity for someone is that homes don't have the staff that they need to move those people in. So we've done a lot of work, like I outlined, in terms of trying to increase the rates of pay, increase the professionalization of that staff so that we can make those matches happen faster. We also, a couple years in a row, have had an incentive program, and I think we don't talk about it externally very much, but we've invested a lot of money in creating an incentive for providers like Birch to provide them one-time payments to help with those costs of moving new people in, and that has been really successful in moving people out of more restrictive environments with that additional financial assistance. So that's some of the things that we're working on. I mean, stay in touch with your care manager, make sure that you are availing yourself to all of the other types of services. If you are a caregiver waiting for a loved one to be able to have an opportunity, maybe you need respite in the meantime. It's another service that we can offer to provide relief to you as the caregiver. You might be aging, you might not be able to provide that constant support for someone at home. So there are other services out there to use. So that would be my advice, to look into some of those in the meantime and to stay in touch.
Well, thank you for that. But do you see that, say, you know, we had the COVID issue, and so we had a lot of needs during COVID, and we still do. Do you see that the wait time has shrunk in the past few years, or is it still at that point where, we're still saying, we have a problem,
I think that's hard to answer because there's always going to be outliers, right? We have people that are placed very, very quickly. We have people that have been waiting for quite some time for the same reasons, and then we have everyone in the middle, right, where the average is a less than a year to move out of those settings. We have people that live in an opportunity and might want to move to another opportunity, right? So some of that shuffling happens. So what we are working on in terms of the automated system, and then that will give us the ability to really track who's waiting and for how long they've been waiting, and drill down into what parts of the state, right, we have the longest wait times, and to just be much more data driven and being able to address some of those.
So there's a lot of questions that they've posted here. I'm not sure if you guys are seeing the questions.
Just noticed it's blown up.
I'm starting. It's starting to.
So the staff has decided that they're just copying and pasting so that you can just see them all there. So if you want to just take any of the any question there.
Sure. The only thing I was just going to add, just with what the commissioner was saying, I do think there's a lot of. I think that there's since COVID certainly, but even beyond, I think residential placement is the most important decision that families struggle with when is the time. And sometimes some families want their family member with them for as long as they can until they can't do it anymore. But sometimes if they start planning, then they're almost in a crisis already. Or sometimes, there's other people with really emergency needs. And I think for residential placement is always best when it's planned. And whether it be with existing or anything new, as the commissioner was saying, sometimes with more complex individuals, whether the state is looking at their service system or creating new models, it becomes important, or what is needed in certain environments. But I do think it's important that as we think about this going forward, how we, in working with OPWDD providers, families, self-advocates, and government, figure out how can we make the system more nimble to be able to do that, because there are a lot of people in emergency types of situations that you're trying to help, and you may or may not be able to help them, but there's also a lot of people that don't want to get to that before having to make those decisions. So I think the more we can work on that, I think the opportunities to do that, not only with technology, but also just really having that information in a more real time and having that data, I think, becomes important for us.
Thank you. If I can, I'm looking at all of these questions and I'm smiling. It's Commissioner, someone is asking, how is New York State ensuring equity in OPWDD service delivery, particularly in underserved minority communities that are often, they're often underdiagnosed and underserved.
Yeah, it is.
Is OPWD doing outreach in communities? So if you can answer that, I think you can see the question there.
I do. No, I do. And it's such a great question. It's such an important question. It's something we've been really focused on, right? Ensuring equity in service delivery, especially in a system as complex as ours, is complicated, right? And requires correcting structural imbalances that happened before I was ever here. And it comes back a lot to that data, right? Just using the data to really look at who's being served, who's being underserved, and who's being overserved. Something that we are working on is creating, sort of aligning rates for providers with the needs of people. And in doing that, using data about what someone's needs are, regardless of how they came to us. And that has opened our eyes to a lot about the system and who's typically received services and who hasn't. And you can see a lot of that data on our website, right? We don't hide that. We provide information about who's utilizing services and who's not. And we've really learned a lot from that. We did a whole 3-year, really intensive work with Georgetown University over the last few years, and really looked a lot at whether we were providing communication and services in a way that was culturally competent and in a way that was equitable. And I think our entire team is so invested now in making sure that we right size what's historically happened by no fault of anyone working here, right? It's structurally the way that that's happened. But we've done so much outreach in these communities that we've been able to identify by really digging into the data, making sure that we're providing forums in other languages, that we're making resource materials available, not just from us on our website, right, but through the development of community partnerships. We know that a lot of communities rely on other families, churches, community partners, and providers to have that trusted source of information. So doing a lot of outreach that way. There's just so much in this question, and you know, we could talk about that for hours, but this is all to say that it is very much on the radar and a lot of work daily. It looked like Matt was actually trying to jump in on that also.
Yeah, go ahead. What I need to, before Matt answers, you guys can copy all of those questions. And then if you want to give us answers, you know, general answers, we'll post it on when we post the video online. So someone does not think that, you know, we're ignoring what they're asking, because they're very interesting questions.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the commissioner raised it in terms of we're always trying to figure out where do people get information. And, you know, I find this with working with young children or people in our school age, they're overwhelmed navigating the education system as one. And when the child is young, that's only one aspect of their life, and then they start navigating. So it becomes very, very overwhelming to have to navigate a lot of these different state and city entities that they may have to navigate. And so I think that we, and a lot of other colleague providers do the same thing, aside from our government partners. A lot of providers do trainings on what does it mean to go through the front door at OPWDD? Or what should you know about your IEP meeting, your individualized education plan when you go? And it's okay to bring an advocate with you, you know, and so on and so forth. And what might you be looking for? So I think empowering families in all communities become important. And I also think it's important, and I think that's why it's important in terms of wherever families try to access, we're all trying to make it as easy as possible because it could be overwhelming. So whether it is you study about the front door, you know, you go review the front door video and you deal with that, or you go to a care coordination organization and they have an enrollment specialist, or an agency like Birch or some of our other colleague agencies may have an intake worker who understands entitlements and begins to help them navigate. Because sometimes it's not just, for example, getting access to OPWDD. It might be getting evaluations that are going to make you qualify for services, or it might be then enrolling in Medicaid, which is a whole separate entity, or it might be enrolling for, you know, food stamps and other kinds of public assistance. So it is very overwhelming for families, and I think the thing is certainly OPWDD can certainly support, but also the provider agencies are able to do that in certain ways and be able to guide them and hold their hand through these processes, because there's a lot of language, a lot of acronyms and things that we use in each of the areas that we speak that become overwhelming for families to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's where our responsibilities as providers and government partners are to work together and make sure they can get it in an easy way.
Thank you for that. So there's a question here. Someone is asking, Commissioner, the services that are offered for young children with autism. They're asking, you know, what are you offering? And I think with all of the outreach and all of the information that's now available and the early diagnoses that we're seeing now, you know, people are now starting to ask the questions, as you're saying, and then, you know, and what I'm going to ensure that I do, the videos that the commissioner talks about, we're going to make sure we're putting them out so people can see those videos. But what kind of services was this person's asking for someone with autism? And the commissioner can answer that.
Yeah. And it sort of depends on that child's age and needs and where they're living and going to school, right? So again, big array of services. We certainly have more children coming into our system than any other age group. And as we all know, while we don't know the cause necessarily, we know more and more children are being diagnosed with autism, and the needs are changing, right? So we would look to the school system first and foremost in terms of addressing that child's needs during the day, but we certainly have a number of services, whether it's through self-direction or regular fee-for-service services. Respite is the big one that comes to mind, right? That provides relief to a caregiver. That can look like a camp or an after-school program, or someone that that takes you out for a few hours so that your parents have a little time. We have technology services, we've got family support and training services, right? So, all of this would, again, just depend on that child's needs. And Matt certainly is familiar with this age group in particular.
Yeah, I mean, I think through the schools, we try to provide parent training. So, for example, this month there'll be next week, I think there's a training on toilet training. You can find out on our website. But for young families who are learning how to teach toilet training to their children, or understanding what autism is, there's another training scheduled in October that's free that people can go on our website and register. So we try to offer a variety of trainings for our parents, virtually as well as in person at some of our school sites. We also, as it relates to children, I think as the commissioner was saying, it's important that it's not solely OPWDD. Sometimes it's within the school district that they may be able to do certain things, or the school district may receive certain funding to assist a certain way, or it might be another agency. It might be the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene in New York City that's running, an after-school program with the Division for Youth and Child Development in the city. They might be doing some kinds of things. So I think it is somewhat fragmented, and I think certainly with children with autism, sometimes families are looking for very, very specialized support and training that might be more ABA related, ABA and getting registered behavior technicians. And it's, they may be individuals that may need more intensive support that might qualify for certain services within OPW with that support, or it may be, through other initiatives that are there, crisis intervention programs, respite programs, and things like that.
Yeah, and we don't expect families to know all that or understand all that, right? That's why we have the care manager playing that role, should be able to describe based on what they're sharing as their goals and their needs and their family situation, sort of what the best match is for them, and help them navigate that. And I know that we keep putting everything back to like the care manager should be able to do that, but that really highlights the importance of that role.
Thank you very much for that.
We just put the link to our website in the chat, so people have that to go to register for toilet training or autism or things that people, and in our website, if you can type into info where there's different phone numbers to contact that people can access from there, in terms of that.
The links will be live. We'll have them on because this is video will be posted on our page.
There is a question that I was going to, there's a question that is, how do current funding models limit innovation within OPWDD services, and what reforms are needed to unlock more flexible care options? That's the challenge. New York offers a variety of options, and we have a robust system, but because of how we're funded, they're very siloed. And I think that puts pressure sometimes on our regulators. It puts pressure sometimes on how can we mix it up a little bit to be more nimble. And I think that's something we have to look at. And I think we've all talked about it. I mean, there's been discussions around whole person care. And are there different ways that we can do different things to support people? I think sometimes our services are set up that we have to stay in a lane. And yet, when I think about Employment First, which is an initiative that everybody knows, we're trying to get more and more people able to work. But in order to do that, there's such a great continuum. If we can figure out how to make that more nimble, from community habilitation under the waiver to Prevoke to pathways to employment, and all, there are so many different things, and yet some of the requirements get you bogged down. So the more we can think about how we can make those things more nimble, and still achieve the same requirements that's required, but being able to do that, I think will help ease the system. But I think we keep adding requirements at times, and that's I know something that I know now the governor's called for other ways that we can make some suggestions, and I know a lot of us are giving our input on that.
I know the commissioner is doing her best to ensure that she modernizes the agency, and and tries to ensure that the constituents who the agency serves are receiving the best, whether it's the care, it's the funding, whatever. I know the commissioner, and she said it, when she's spoken at our budget hearings or otherwise, she's committed to ensuring that her agency succeeds, and that the people who need the services are receiving the very best. So I want to say thank you for that. You know, you said it's actually 7 o'clock, and we could be going and going and going because there's a lot of questions there. But I just want to say thank you both for everything that you've done this evening and said this evening. And I'm going to give you the chance to just say what you want to say as we're wrapping up. I will start with the commissioner.
No, we're at time. I just am so
I
grateful.
can't believe it.
There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to work on. I always love the opportunity to engage, to hear some feedback about how we're doing and what we can do better. I know my team does as well. And you're always such a champion for this population, and just really appreciate you taking the time.
I echo the
Sure.
same. I thank the commissioner for what she and her team have been doing. And I also, I thank our families and our self-advocates for keeping us honest and on the pathways of where we need. And Senator, your leadership in social services, but also in all the work that you do for various vulnerable populations, we appreciate, because we know that you're a champion for the people we support and families and so many others. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I try my best. I didn't mention it this time, but my friend who I told you we grew up together, who used to be the boss of us, he actually passed away a little over a year ago. And so every time I do something and I speak with somebody, I always mention Sean and say that's why I'm always willing and just focus on assisting the population, because I know what we did to ensure that Sean was included in everything that we did. And why I say, someone with a disability is not disabled. That's not what they are. They're just differently abled, and they're capable of doing a lot of things if we just give them the opportunity to do so, and for them to for them to show us what they're capable of. We should not make the assumptions that they can't do anything and they shouldn't be part of us. They must be a part of us. So I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to my staff. Dennis, Lauren, Michelle are behind the scenes doing everything. They are the ones who contacted you. Dennis was contacting everyone. But I want to say thank you. Dennis is the director of the Social Services Committee. So many of you have been in touch with him. And Lauren is my LD. So you've spoken with her about legislation. And to everyone who joined us this evening, I want to say thank you. I hope this was an informative session and that you got a lot out of it. The links are going to be there on the website. We are going to ensure that you can review the links. We want you to use the links, just not say, oh, the links are there. We want you to review the videos that the commission spoke about. We want you to register for the sessions that Matt spoke about. Share the information with others. Any friends that you have who could not join us this evening, share that information with them. Because remember, keeping information to ourselves, no one benefits from that. We want to make sure we spread the information. And again, we are going to send this link. The link to this webinar is going to be on our upcoming e-newsletter, so that anyone can view it again. If you don't have to find it on our Facebook page or our Senate webpage, but we will send the link, and we'll also have it on our YouTube channel so that you can go and review it and share it. I want to say thank you again to the commissioner and to Matt for being here. Dennis, I know someone raised their hand. I'm not sure. To the person who raised their hand, if you can just put your question in our Q&A, and we will show. And if you want to send us your contact privately, just send a direct link question to us, and we will respond to you. But I want to say thank you for being with us this evening as we continue to celebrate. Yes, we have to celebrate Disability Awareness Month. And yes, next month we go into Autism Awareness. And so we will continue. Disability awareness should be every part of our everyday conversations, not just only in the month of March, but in every day. Because again, they are the people who are part of the disability community are part of the general population. And we want to ensure that they understand that. So thank you all. To Commissioner, your team for being here also. Matt, for your team for being here also. And thank you for dropping all of the links. Thank you for answering all of the questions. And yes, if you haven't copied these questions, we will share these questions with you so that, you can get a sense of what people are asking. So again, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great evening, and I hope to see you around when I come back. I'll see the commission in Albany or wherever, and I'll see Matt somewhere in Brooklyn. Thanks again, everyone.
I'll see you in the neighborhood. Okay.
I'll
Thank
see you in the
again.
neighborhood. And I promise to come visit one of the schools again.
Okay, we'll see you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.